Hi, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for stopping by on this video. This is going to be slightly a different video. This is going to be a voiceover. My bike is still being in the process of being fixed as of today. I have another clip that I will be showing you of the damages. So this is a crash, accident, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to explain everything through it, because a lot of people are going to be saying stuff like, oh, this was all your fault, this was not playing anybody else, like you are a bad experienced driver, you shouldn't be on the road or anything like that. This is just going to be me going through my mindset and everything that happened. In the end, this is kind of like a 50-50. No insurance, no nothing went through. This was just a pretty easy fix on my end, but the other person who was also semi-involved in this did bring up to ownership that he was partly at fault for how fast he was going. So I do have the clip here. I will put it in to a raw footage towards the end if you guys want to stay towards that to watch everything from start to finish of what I'm doing instead of through my screen and me voicing over, stopping every so often. But feel free to stay there until the end. I'm going to get as many questions done in this video as I can for comments that could be avoided and answered instead of me just messaging it into the comments. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead. This is me going into a roundabout. I'm probably going about 15 miles per hour. My odometer always says a little bit different than it is just because the previous owner has a sprocket kit that was on it, so the speed is a little bit different. But I'm going in about, say, 15 miles per hour, typical roundabout speed. Now this guy right over here in this white car, when I get about, just say, about right here is when I notice that he isn't slowing down, at least what it looks like. It's also a wide angle camera, so it will look a lot more further away than it is. Now, as you can see, there are two lanes here, but in my mind, the way that and the speed that he's coming in, just previous from watching videos in the past on how crashes are happening and motorcycles are happening, that he looks like he is not going to stop, and if he oversteers or understeers, he is going to be coming into my lane and cause a bigger crash than it could have been. Now, with me in this situation, this is my first ever, like, quote unquote major, not really major crash, but like first time getting flung off my bike and hitting the ground. But his white car did scare me a little bit. I did the wrong thing in this part where I notice him. As you can see, it does look like he is going to turn into that lane, but if you look at the wheel, it does look like it is just going to go straight, which is scary in my part. And then right there is when I kind of accidentally fully grabbed the front brake. My front brakes did lock up, which caused me to get there. In this situation, it caused my front brakes to lock up. Should have done the back, but when you are in a turn, your bike is going to go one way or the other. I've been learning all this stuff from my friend that I ride around with. So, I mean, don't call me out on anything that's wrong, right? Don't ask me questions because I could be wrong, but this is my knowledge of what I've known. Now, this is when I am down, about to fall. Even in here, you can kind of tell that he isn't really braking. I feel like he did see me at the last second. He does have a yield. It did not look like he yielded at all. He did look like he was coming in about 25 miles per hour and everything like that. So it wasn't the actual speed you're supposed to be going into a roundabout. And then I fall. I get right back up. This could have been way, way more worse than it could have been, but it isn't, which is good. Now, the only thing I got really out of this was just some scratches and bruises. I got like 4 different places of road rash, just simple cuts, nothing severe. I got like 3 bruises. And that was really it. What really saved me though was my jacket, especially wearing 2 different layers on this day, with the impact on my side, because it could have been way worse. And I'm surprised that my leg isn't more messed up than it is. But all in all, I am super happy with how I got out of this. It was super lucky of me. It could have been way, way worse than it is. A lot of people are going to be saying like, oh, you're stupid, everything like that. Then again, this is my first time ever getting into like an accident on a bike. Just natural instincts kind of happen where you're just like, oh, I need the brake so I don't impact this person, which is what happened. And I do get right back up again. I was happy enough that this person did. I came over here and turned my bike off, even though it did it. I am very, very happy that this person did stop and asked if I was okay and helped me with everything. I am a very person who talks with their hands. So as you can see in the clip, you'll see that towards the end I will. After a while, I did get calmed down. My reaction was just because this is something that I like. My reaction was a little bit of an overreaction, just due to because this is something that I love and I take care of. It's like your own baby. As another probably rider will know, is that it sucks when it does happen the first time, where you do fall. It does happen. Other than that, it just caught me off guard, put me into a shock. Adrenaline was running. My reaction was just because of that, because that's just how I reacted, because something happened to my item that I really, really liked a lot. And I didn't want anything to happen to it. So that's where my reaction came. Calm down. He got out of his car when I was over there. I asked him to at least help me get my bike up, just because I didn't know how much damage was done to myself. So after we got the bike up, I did take pretty much all my gear off. My gloves, my helmet already came off. But my gloves, my jacket, my other jacket, I just assorted myself just to make sure nothing else happened that was worse than it was. Luckily, I was actually wearing my riding boots on too. I feel like my foot would have gotten way worse than it was. Luckily, I was wearing my shoes. And all that got out of that one was just a little bit of fabric that just got scraped up a tiny bit, and my shoes still perfectly fine. My glove is perfectly fine. My jacket did get a rip in it, but it's still usable, which I'm happy for. As we'll clearly see, there's my shoes. You can't really see it. Had a few people stop and ask if I was okay, which I was grateful for. I'm just happy that he did not go away. He did not run away or anything like that. Now, another thing I will show you is this. These are going to be the aftermath of it. So, man, that's really hard to see when you pause. So the mirror folded up. If you watch the video, I'll probably put a little bit of a slow motion there too as well, so then you can see the slow motion of the crash. My mirror folded. It did scratch a little bit there. These are aftermarket. They were super cheap. I'm not really too scared of that. It's an easy fix. I did get a little bit of some scratching on the side here. I already had the fairing off. I meant to video us fixing this, me and my friend, but we kind of just went straight into it. Didn't really worry about it. We were just trying to make sure that everything under the fairing was okay. So then I'm moving down this little black air duct here. Previous day I did connect it all back together, but it was very easy. There was probably 1 or 2 clips that were broken due to the impact on the side, but everything is perfectly fine. It closed back up, which was okay. I did end up losing 2 bolts in this. I shaved one of my fairing bolts right up here. I'll probably put an arrow. I don't know. It's right there. Shaved up. I had to kind of cut into it, make it a little Phillips head. There was another bolt that was on the side that was totally bent. We had to like really mess around with it and get it to there. My lever right here did get a little bit damaged. right there. That was just from the scrape. It's got some scrapes on here too as well. This mount slightly broken. It's fine enough for riding and everything, so that's good. Turn signal totally got off. Other than that, I did get a little bit bent here. That's just me indicating that is supposed to be perpendicular. It is slightly at a degree back, so do need to get that a little bit rebent, but that's like the really major damage that was done. It was pretty much done to this bike. It did drive home. It was perfectly fine. I was super happy about that. Nothing was wrong with it. It started right back up and it was perfectly fine, and I was really happy about that. And when we go a little bit further back, I did get some scratching on the side right over here. Sorry for the blur and everything on this, but it landed here. That's where it was previously landed to as well. That's where it scratched up. My whole fairing, I'll show you that in just a second. On the how messed that one up. This little stand peg right here did get bent too as well. Don't know if it still works, which is great. Don't know if I'm going to replace it yet or not. This I've already fixed, but this was also dangling. The little nut bolt that was inside of there was pulled out. All I had to do was just shove it back in there. It was bent forward towards the license plate a little bit more than it was. I just bent that back and tightened it. That's all I did. It's just me showing it. And then here's my fairing kit, showing all the scratches. This is all the stickers that I previously had on there to cover up the previous owner's fall. Now, as you can clearly tell, I gotta put more stickers on here or get a new fairing kit, which I'll probably get a new fairing kit later down the road. But this is just all the stuff. I was really sad about my Supreme sticker, just because now it's all messed up. I was really sad after noticing that my throttle sticker too as well got a little messed up, but at least you can still see it. I was really happy about that. And then me and my friend, just because this whole assembly right here of the turn signal was just broken off, we 5-minute epoxied onto it, and it is good as new. Super happy with how easy that was. As you can clearly tell, there is just me showing the epoxy. And then I come back over here. I did have to repaint a little bit of my engine. I am probably going to just repaint that in the whole enamel. But right there, that is a little bit that I had to paint so it doesn't rust or anything. Other than that, that's all I came out with on this end. Super grateful that my bike did not mess up or anything like that. It was just in not perfect condition, but in enough condition to where I could ride it home and get it fixed. I was super grateful for that, and I'm not in any much more pain like that. But since you stayed to the end of my voiceover on this, I'll go ahead and put the raw footage. I did blur his face out and my face out. I am going to censor some words too as well, just for the sake of everything. It's the thing that's politeful in here. But other than that, enjoy the clip. I'll put a little bit of the slow motion on there. I'm doing okay. If you have any other questions for me, just that I did not answer on here, or just anything like that, just feel free to throw that down in the comments. I'll try to answer it the best I can. But other than that, thank you guys for coming in and watching to the video. If you've stayed this long, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. I got more content that will probably eventually come out. I just got to edit more and everything like that. But thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful night and enjoy the rest of the clip.
Really? Like this. Hey, pito pronto, cantos, diamonds made me